Despite coming of age in the era of working from home, sweatpants and athleisure, I have completely rejected the normal way that most men of my generation dress. I wear what I like to call the classic gentleman style, which involves mostly formal clothes like blazers, button-down shirts and trousers, taking inspiration from British, Italian and American tailoring traditions. Despite what you might think, the way I dress has nothing to do with my upbringing, nothing to do with my social class, and nothing to do with pressures from others. I recently made a video talking about my transformation from goth to gentleman, which you can check out in the description if you're interested. What surprised me about the reaction to this video was how many comments there were criticizing my current style. And while I'm not bothered or deterred by negative comments, it did get me thinking about why I do dress like this. So I've been pondering a lot about the philosophy of my current style and why I choose to dress up pretty much all the time as a young man. Aside from the backstory of how I got into this style, how I learned about it, the kind of places that I shop, I've identified 3 main factors that motivate me to dress up pretty much all the time. So these 3 main reasons are exactly what I'm going to share with you right now. The greatest and by far the most important reason that I dress up is because it makes me feel good. If you're a young guy, I'm sure you've worn a suit once or twice in your life, maybe to your prom, to a wedding or the races. If you got a suit that fit you well and a colour and a pattern that suited you, I'm sure you felt absolutely fantastic in that suit. Well, I want to experience that feeling every day. So whatever it is that you can wear that makes you feel your best, I think you should do that. And when I don't dress up, I don't feel as confident. The suit is almost like a suit of armor, but obviously you don't have to wear a full suit every day to get this effect. I actually feel just as confident wearing a blazer and a pair of odd trousers, or even something more casual and unusual like a safari jacket. Here's another benefit of dressing up pretty much every day. I feel more ready to work when I'm dressed up. For me, it's kind of worth that trade-off of getting up a little bit earlier in the morning, getting myself ready properly, because I know that I will then maximize my productivity for the rest of the day. When I'm dressed up, I feel ready for any situation that life might throw at me. If I were to bump into somebody that I have a professional association with, I'm not going to be embarrassed by what I'm wearing. If I were single and in the position where I was looking for a date, I would never lack the confidence to approach a woman because of the way I look. Even during a long haul flight, I will wear a shirt and a blazer because I'd rather feel good about myself than just opt for comfort and wear sweats or pajamas. And just quickly, when you get high quality, well-made clothes that fit you properly and have a nice fabric, they are extremely comfortable, but that is a topic for another video. One of the reasons I love dressing in this way is because I find that formal clothes are more complementary to my physique than casual clothes. For example, a blazer builds up your shoulders and then slims down your waist with the buttons. Wool trousers or cotton chinos cut a much cleaner silhouette than jeans or even worse, shorts. And as a tall, slim guy, I find that a classic slim fit made of draping fabrics looks so much better than anything that's overly tight or overly baggy. The reason I like ties and pocket squares so much is because that's where I can have fun and express my personal style. I like to dress a little bit on the flamboyant side, so I use these details to add a touch of pizzazz to my outfits. But on the other hand, another reason that classic style appeals to me is because I'm quite a minimalist. I dislike owning a large amount of material possessions and I don't want a huge closet. So when I buy clothes, I like to buy high quality staple pieces that I can mix and match with other things and get a lot of mileage out of. For example, this blazer, it cost me $300. I spent about $75 on top of that for the tailoring. And that might be more than somebody would spend buying 10 or 20 items at a store like H&M. But if you've seen my other YouTube videos, you'll know that I wear this blazer all the time. When you divide the dollar amount by the number of times that I've worn it and loved wearing it, it begins to look like actually great value. And compared to buying something from a fast fashion store that wears out quickly and it never really fits you right, it's better to own fewer things that you absolutely love. So overall, this style of dressing feels very versatile but also dependable for me. We would be kidding ourselves if we tried to pretend that our appearance does not affect the way that others perceive us. And I like the message that dressing up sends to the rest of the world. I find that my style gets a lot of positive, subtle reactions, such as smiles and obviously just outright compliments from both men and women. Sometimes it can be a conversation starter, but most importantly for me, it just makes me feel confident in certain environments. For example, if I were to walk into a cigar bar in Manhattan, dressed the way I am now, I would feel totally confident about sitting down by the bar by myself and enjoying a drink or a smoke and striking up a conversation with a stranger. I don't know if I would be as confident doing that if I were more casually dressed, especially as a young guy. I've also found that using my image and appearance to my advantage has particularly helped me in my career as a journalist. So this is a job where you have to go knocking on doors, talking to people, talking to strangers, and putting yourself in unfamiliar environments. So dressing this way makes me feel more professional and competent, for example, when I go to speak to a politician or a business owner or a scientist. And it garners a certain level of respect from them because I'm showing respect to them by making an effort with the way I dress. Now, are there any downsides to dressing the way I do? Yeah, there are actually. Dressing this way isn't always appropriate for the situation. So, for example, when I go to the gym, I don't dress like this, I wear gym clothes. If I'm going to a super casual bar, then maybe I'll wear something like a polo shirt and a pair of dark wash jeans. So as much as we like to think of a suit or a shirt and tie as being a kind of everyday uniform, even if you're a super well-dressed guy, then sometimes you need to cater your appearance and your style for the situation. Another downside is that I know that the way I dress is not everybody's cup of tea. Some people actually associate this style with snobbery and even conservatism, but I know that those traits aren't actually traits that I embody, so that doesn't really bother me. It's kind of like somebody saying the way I dress makes me look like an octopus. I know I'm not an octopus, so why would I be offended? Gentlemen, I hope this video has either resonated with you or inspired you to take your personal style more seriously. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is your personal reason for dressing the way you do? And if you're new to dressing up, I'm going to challenge you just for 1 week to take your style up one level. By one level, I mean something like this. If you always wear sneakers, then try wearing boots for the week. If you always go for a t-shirt, then try a casual polo shirt or button-down shirt instead. I am certain that you would see a positive impact, and I would love to hear about your experience if you do. To all my loyal subscribers and viewers, apologies if I sound a bit hoarse or I'm struggling to speak a little bit in this video. I recently had a couple of procedures done with my sinuses. I had some issues that need to be sorted out, so it has kind of affected my voice and like my breathing, but I'm on the mend and I wanted to keep making videos while I had the time to do it. So hopefully things should be sounding and looking a little bit more normal within a couple of weeks, but in the meantime, I'm going to keep making these videos and I look forward to catching up with all you guys in the comments.